What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and it looks like Marvel Studios is about to make some huge changes to how they release content in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have reports today that suggest that Disney knows that the Disney Plus shows aren't exactly performing well right now, and they are now done with the 6-episode, $200 million budget. We'll dive more into this news in this video, but the two biggest, most important questions to ask about this big change is, one, what does it mean for the MCU? And two, will it actually work? Will getting rid of Disney Plus projects from Marvel Studios, or at least cutting back on Disney Plus projects, will that make the MCU better? Both Bob Iger of Disney and Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, have acknowledged that things haven't exactly been performing well on the Disney Plus side of Marvel Studios. However, things haven't exactly gone well for movies as well, except for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 recently. So we'll dive into everything you need to know about what is happening in this video. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest MCU news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment on our videos, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. So today's report is coming from the insider account Can We Get Some Toast? And this is what they stated in a tweet last night. MCU content bloat is real. Feige and Iger know this. Say goodbye to the 6-episode, $200 million budget Disney Plus shows. Now, right away, this doesn't exactly mean that Marvel Studios is going to just be getting rid of doing all sorts of Disney Plus projects, because they do special presentations as well as the full-length Disney Plus shows. And even if they do decide to completely get rid of the Disney Plus shows, I don't think that's going to actually happen until after Phase 6. We've already got too much lined up, too many projects in the works to just completely bail on Disney Plus. However, is Marvel Studios going to scale back? Yes, we already actually knew this. And both Kevin Feige and Bob Iger have separately said that they are going to be cutting back on content. And this, of course, is so they can try to increase the quality of the content that they do put out. In fact, last week, Bob Iger acknowledged that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 performed well, but acknowledged that the other movies haven't. He said, and I quote, "The performance of some of our recent films is definitely disappointing, and we don't take that lightly. We are focused on improving the quality and performance of the films coming up." End quote. So Marvel Studios and Disney, of course, are already in the process of taking steps to make their content better. And one thing that Marvel Studios might be considering doing is maybe putting Disney Plus content on hold. Phase 1 through 3 was pretty fantastic. No, all films weren't 10 out of 10, but we had a ton of really great movies, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe itself just kind of felt, well, a little bit more connected than it does now. And they did that without any Disney Plus shows. So, of course, Marvel Studios would consider Disney Plus shows as the reason that there's a little bit of content bloat right now, and perhaps the reason why the movies aren't performing as well too. Because we do know that there are super fans out there like myself and like probably most of you who are watching this video who will probably watch anything that Marvel Studios puts out. However, there is a big majority of people out there who do kind of feel fatigued. There's a lot to watch and a lot you have to keep up with, and that can get tiring. So it is very possible that Marvel is considering kind of scrapping Disney Plus shows. Now, I don't think they'll actually do this. However, I do think they're going to cut back in a really big way. And I actually think that the projects that we do get are going to be longer. 6 episodes between 30 minutes to an hour isn't enough. 9 episodes is probably all right, but Daredevil is going to give us 18 episodes. And when you have 18 episodes, it's okay if some episodes are 30 minutes long, because you still have enough time to tell a good story. And that brings us into the question, will this actually work? If Marvel Studios cuts out the Disney Plus content and just reverts back to movies, will this actually fix the quality of their films? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was a great movie, but before that, the previous 4 films, fans didn't like that much. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So why weren't these films received that well? Was it due to the MCU Disney Plus content that was also out there? Or, and I think this is the real question we need to ask, is it just due to bad quality and bad writing? Yes, there are a lot of complaints about the recent Disney Plus shows and the recent movies. And yes, the ratings have been going down, but is that due to fatigue or bad storytelling? Because let's go back to Phase 4. WandaVision and Loki were massive successes, and a large majority of the fandom, both the people who talk about this and watch videos about this every day like ourselves, and the general population, they consider those two the best Marvel Disney Plus shows there have been. And a lot of people say that the quality declined after those two shows. Now, we've had great ones like Moon Knight and others, but the approval rating keeps going down. But what people tend to talk about online is simply the story. People aren't going, oh no, we have another Disney Plus Marvel show that we have to watch to keep up. That's really not what people are saying. And in fact, most people get really excited for a show, but then midway into it or at the end of it, they'll give up on it because they don't like the direction that it went. Secret Invasion is the perfect example. It started off really strong and a lot of people were really hooked, but by the end, and especially at the finale, fans clocked out. Then you see people online talking about how they're not going to watch any more Marvel Disney Plus shows for a bit, but that is mostly due to them being disappointed in the quality and the direction of the storytelling. So getting rid of Disney Plus shows from Marvel Studios or cutting back on them still won't work if the storytelling is bad. However, cutting back on them or eliminating them altogether will increase the quality of what we do get. In theory, at least. Let's say Marvel Studios decides to severely slim back on Disney Plus content, because again, I don't think they're going to get rid of it altogether. But let's say they release 1, maybe 2 Disney Plus shows a year and 3 films a year. That's a pretty drastic cutback from releasing 4 films a year and 4, 5, 6 Disney Plus shows a year. This will allow the people at Marvel Studios to put in the time and the care into the few projects that they now have. And in theory, the quality for everything should go up. The storytelling, the CGI, the filming. With more time and care, pretty much everything should improve. But again, if the story is still bad, the shows and the movies are going to continue to be bad. So I don't really think that Disney Plus projects are the issue. I do agree that there are probably too many Disney Plus projects because they are spreading people too thin who work on these projects. They're rushed, they have limited time to make something good, and we've heard about the complaints from VFX people at Marvel Studios saying that they really don't have enough time, they are pressured, and they don't get paid enough to work kind of overtime for all the work that they need to do on these projects to complete them. So the workers are exhausted, but if you cut back on how many shows you produce a year, they won't be. And they could put more care into what they're doing. Not that they don't care right now, but they are stretched pretty thin. So what does this mean for Marvel Studios? Well, like I mentioned, I don't think they're gonna stop doing Disney Plus shows until after Phase 6. And once Phase 6 hits, they could make a decision to stop doing Disney Plus projects because it is kind of going to be a little bit of a soft reboot. No, the Avengers aren't going away and it will be in the same MCU, but we're going to start off with the Fantastic Four and then the X-Men, 2 completely different groups with their own stories to tell. So it's almost like we're getting a Phase 1. And of course, when Marvel Studios started the first 3 phases, we didn't have Disney Plus projects, so they might decide to kind of start the same way. Put all of your effort and all of your time into making the X-Men, into making good Fantastic Four spin-offs and sequels. So we could see them cut Disney Plus projects, but I don't think that's going to be forever. If they do it, I think it's going to be temporary and eventually they'll bring them back. But like I mentioned, I think they're probably just going to scale back a bit, making 1, maybe 2 Disney Plus shows a year. This still gives them a lot of time and they can still devote a lot of effort and care into making the projects that they want to make. Now, there's also the possibility, I've seen this a little bit online, that they could increase the budget for these Disney Plus shows. And I don't think that's going to happen because Secret Invasion had a $200 million budget and the finale was rated the worst out of any Disney Plus show. So despite its massive budget, it still underperformed. So money clearly isn't the problem. We know Marvel Studios and Disney has money, and we know they could throw more money into any series that they want to and have a huge cast like Sam Jackson, Emilia Clarke, Ben Mendelsohn, Kobe Smulders, etc., etc. And it can still fail despite having a huge cast and a huge budget. It has to be about the quality of the content they put out and the storytelling. But no doubt, Marvel is about to make some pretty big changes. So brace yourself for either a cut completely of Disney Plus projects or them scaling back in a huge way. So these are our thoughts about this. Please let us know what you think about this in the comments down below. If Marvel Studios decides to no longer make Disney Plus projects, do you think this will help fix the MCU as far as quality is concerned? Or do you think that it's a different problem, like storytelling? Please let us know all your thoughts about this in the comments down below. And again, don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all things relating to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and so you can enter our giveaway. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.